14 days, we're back for session 11 or 10. I think it might be 11. I think I might have got the session wrong on the stream, which is always a good start. Let me update that quickly. Where we will be climbing this goddamn mountain. As always, you have Telnock playing Damien Krieger, Prince Wanderer playing... Prince Wanderer playing Randall Wilder, myself and Mega Pirate playing Casper Zerkov, our wonderful Dungeon Master Beta Annihilator, and Knight Captain Stepan Awkward, played by Feet Moon, who, if he would be so kind, will do a little bit of recap for those that couldn't be bothered to watch last time.
Well, where to begin? I believe last session we began just after we had met back up, after we had crossed the river. Those of us on horseback got back to the camp pretty safely. Those of us who crossed and waded across the river, some of them didn't make it. So there was a brief conversation about that, about the plan to move forward. Morale was low. Some people went around trying to raise it a little bit. But we soon left camp the next day, early in the morning, and we started making our way back towards the mountain. Not much else happened on our journey until we got to the base of the mountains and found a small village. After entering the village and talking around, we asked some questions of the villagers about if there's any strange stories about the mountains, any particular mountains that might have legends about them. And while there wasn't any mountain in particular, they did tell us of a valley not too far from their village that anyone who's ever entered it has never returned again. Seeing this as clearly a place we had to go check out, the party decided in its wisdom to leave behind our massive group of people that we have dragged along with us to almost work in the village to get food, because food supplies are running low and the elves are there just in enemy forces begin making their way here, they can at least be a nuisance to them. And then the group set forth towards the valley, with, I believe, Randall, Rachel, Damien, and 3 knights all paired together. Casper, Sven, Trevor, and 3 more knights paired together. And Stephen, Tommy, and 4 knights paired together. And the reason that they're all paired together is the valley is in a deep fog, which all of us struggle to see any further than 5 feet in front of us in. The chances of getting lost are high, especially when attempting to climb the mountain.
Yes.
And that's where we left off, with people hearing whispers in their ears.
Excellent. And our wonderful Dungeon Master Beta Annihilator, take us up the mountain.
Well, it's not going to be that easy, but okay, yeah.
Let us walk up this mountain.
Yeah. And then go in, get the vessel, go home, right?
In, out.
Shake it all about.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Fellas, this will be
Exactly.
in and out.
Tell you what, to begin, why don't you all whoever's leading each group, I say, roll me a d20.
That's right.
I will be leading my group, and I'll make sure that I have my light imbued pendant guiding the way.
How often are you casting this?
When it runs out, just give it a good old shake like a glow stick and let it come back.
Okay.
How
That's how it works, isn't it?
how steep is the mountain?
Just crack a new one.
Oh, like, can we walk, or are we like scrambling on our hands and?
It becomes like a little bit of a scramble.
I'll probably just have.
It kind of like a little bit like loose rock scramble, and then you flatten out, and then it's a bit more of a scramble. Some maybe a little bit of ledge you have to reach up and climb up, but it's fairly flat at this point. It's where we get to this map here, where you're at the base. This is where it becomes more of a steeper climb.
Right. Okay.
So, I would like to suggest to my group, not to single out the knights, but as I don't have much empathy for them, myself, Damien, and Rachel, we should be in support.
Okay.
The knights can choose to tie themselves together, but we're not having 6 people tied together. I think that's a tad bit troublesome. We'll have a 3 and a 3.
Bit excessive.
Yeah.
Steve, you are leading your group. D20, please.
Yeah, I did. I was looking at that, and I was like, it's gonna have to be me. I can't even elect someone else to do it.
Captain, stop being a pussy.
You can always let an
That's
NPC
true.
take over.
Okay. Well, as you get like nearer to the base, like the fog really thickens up, and it's like the light is helping you, not Casper, Randall, and your group. But it becomes harder for the other groups, and they start to lose your light. So it's no longer this guiding lantern for the rest of your groups, which is why you guys end up. Well, Casper, what are you doing?
I fell down the crack.
He's fallen into the abyss.
I've got a new character.
You find yourselves, your group separated. Randall and your group, and Damien, like you guys actually see that your group is fairly near Sir Steve. Slightly far apart, and obviously with you guys being 2 separate groups, you want to be somewhat separated. But Steve, like your group can still see Randall's light. You managed to stay within enough distance. Mac, you're hoovering again for some reason. So yes, so Steve, you managed to keep your group within that range, whereas Casper, being the gung-ho leader that you are, you lost sight of the light and thought, I'm just going to forge ahead and I'm going to climb, and you found yourself veering away and you lost the light completely.
Look,
so
straight line.
Not quite a straight line, you did veer slightly. But you thought you were going in a straight line.
Of course I go straight line. I stand there and I go in that direction.
In your eyes, it worked.
It works.
So, you find yourselves at different parts of said mountain. Casper, your group has got quite a steep climb ahead of you. You see rather large bits of actual rock climbing ahead, where it might be treacherous. You not sure on the handholds. The fog is thick and you can't see much. Sir Steve and Randall, you've got slightly more smooth. However, there are almost like big jumps between. Like, there's small little ledges you need to climb up, and then there's almost like a gap between like parts of the ledge that you might have to traverse and either jump over or form some form of rope bridge. So we're gonna travel through, and we're gonna go obviously to our nifty fellows on the left who managed to stay together in Randall and Steve's group, who you managed to meet up eventually as you do the initial climb up to the first kind of stage of this mountain. And yeah, you see kind of like a platform ahead. There's skeletal remains, and then there's a little ledge here, slightly tall mountain that you need to climb.
Well, teamwork makes dream work. Up and at 'em, boys.
He kind of looks up at this ledge, and it's like, how high a ledge is it?
25, 30 feet.
Ooh, that's higher than I thought it was going to be. I had a plan if it was smaller. Okay. I recommend we send our best climbers up first, Randall, and let them sand down rope for the others.
Does anyone believe themselves to be a better climber out of your group?
I look around at the four knights and Tommy.
In their somewhat heavy armor.
You hear echoing across the cabin. I'm a pretty good climber. I'm a pretty good climber. I'm a pretty good climber. I'm a pretty good climber.
I kind of look around as I hear that.
Well, if no one's quite up to the task, I'm willing to try and prevail myself. I will take Hircine up there with me and try to find a nice supported ledge to lower a rope down to you all.
It's not a bad idea. I'm starting to wish we had have brought climbing gear when we were in Wolf's Watch.
That'd be good.
What I am going to do, just to make life a bit easier for me, because I am a little bit equipped to the nines, I'm going to take off some of my gear, just to make myself a tad bit more agile and lighter. I'm going to get rid of my spear. I'm going to keep a hand axe ready, because that might be what I need. But I think I might just lose a little bit, just to make my climbing a bit easier. I don't want to be lumbered down with a backpack, X amount, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to take rope, hand axe, and mainly bow and arrow. And I'm going to take Hircine up there with me.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to turn to Damien and go, Damien, look after Rachel. Don't let her wander off. Keep an eye on her. I'll be back soon.
She kind of looks straight at you. I'm standing right here.
Rachel, look after Damien. Make sure he doesn't wander off. I'll be back soon. Yeah.
All right. Roll me an athletics check, please.
I have Hircine beside me.
Yeah, you managed to climb up that first little bit, and yeah, you managed to. Oh, no, that's not you. Yeah, you managed to climb up the first bit, avoiding the large crack that's in the ground. You kind of overlook, and there's almost like it's a very large skeleton there, a very large creature that you can't necessarily identify what it is. But you managed to.
I may not be able to identify it, but can I deduce if it's a damaged carcass or skeletal remains?
It's skeletal remains. It's just skeleton. Just
Is
bones.
it damaged by anything? Is it broke force bones, or is it just plain bones by itself?
The fog is too thick for you to make out any details unless you wanted to climb down the other side of this hill and look.
No, I might. Nah, it's okay. I was going to say that might work well for climbing gear, but some bone pickaxes. I'm going to find a secure area to tie off some rope to lower down to the others.
Okay. Roll me a survival check. I'm sure that'll be fine for you. I mean, survival is your shtick.
You'd like to hope so.
Yeah, it's good enough. You're tying up a rope, something that you've done all the time. So yeah, and the others start climbing up after you.
Cool. I make sure I hold on to the rope for support when I do it.
Okay. And you notice that there is a large... So you managed to get everyone up. You kind of traverse over. And now you've got a large crevasse in front of you, basically. Okay? And we're going to snap over to Casper. So you guys can think how you're going to approach that. And Casper, your group, you've got a very big climb ahead of you. 60, sort of 80 foot. But you can't see the top.
Is there like refuges like up like halfway, or is it a straight slab?
There's a couple of ledges that you might be able to like rest on, though you wouldn't be able to get your whole group of 6 on there. You'd probably manage to get like 3 of you on there at a time.
Okay. I'll climb to the first ledge with a bit of rope. How much rope have we got? We got multiple bits of rope. We're adventurers, aren't we?
I'd say you've got a good like 50-foot ropes maybe.
Yeah. Okay. I'll climb up to the first ledge with a bit of rope, and I'll tie it off, and then I'll have who looks suitable to climb. I've got 3 knights with me, haven't I?
You got 3 knights, Sven, and who else did you have?
And Trevor, whose brother died recently.
Oh, yeah. The
Um,
one commoner that you've got in your strike force.
is it
The guy
Sven?
with nothing to lose.
What's Sven like? Is he a svelte or is he?
I mean, Sven is. I mean, all of the people of the Second Sons are warrior priests, so
They do
he's
live on a
pretty
hill.
guy.
Is he? Sven, tell me, my friend, are you happy to climb?
I will climb if I have to.
Okay, that's good enough for me, Sven. Right, I'll climb up to the first bit. I'll drop the rope down. If you come up with the next bit of rope
Okay.
and help the others, I'll climb to the next bit, and we'll just keep carrying on like that.
All right.
We'll get some guidelines up. People can climb with that, make it a bit easier on them.
Sounds good to us.
I like you,
Follow
Sven.
And Litaran preserve us.
And Rwanda too. Hang loose, Sven. Let's go. I'm going to do a little bit of stretching first, because, I mean, you need to stretch.
Yeah, that is very important. I mean, you pull a muscle in Grit and Glory. I mean, woo,
Dead. Yeah.
you're
Okay.
out for a few weeks.
So, yeah, rope going round my shoulder diagonally, and let's go up.
All right, roll me an athletics check, my friend.
I'm going to tie my hair back in a ponytail, put some chalk on the hands. My name's
Nice, yeah. Easy climb for you. You make it look trivial, and they're the knights and Sven looking at the bottom. They're like, oh, this will be fine. Easy stuff.
Try
If
and
he's
follow.
making-
Try and follow where you saw my hands go on my feet. That's pretty stable. Yeah, do you see that ledge up there? Yeah, that's a nice one. You can kind of shimmy the whole way along it. I'll chuck the rope down. Just use that if you lose grip. Make it a bit easier on you, my friends. Hey,
And
heavy knights, if you're feeling a little bit fat, you can chuck your arm on the rope. I'll pull it up. If there's any takers on that.
yeah, I mean, you can't see their reaction, so you can't necessarily see what's going on. But the first person will start to climb. Roll me a survival check to tie off the rope first. Actually,
Oh, I'm from the Marines. I should know this.
go on at advantage then.
Fuck, don't need it, mate.
You don't need it. Okay, yeah. You make a very very good line for them to follow. Brother Zen comes up first. He kind of like nods to you. It's all right. You, if you want, go off the next bit. I will make sure that the line comes up with the honor.
Okay, Sven. You just keep pointing out the stuff. Make it easy for them.
Will do, boss.
Good man, Sven. Let's keep going.
Roll me a second athletics check, and this is the second half of your climb.
It's a bit harder, this one.
A little bit harder, yeah. There's some more difficult parts.
I like to think I'm kicking all the loose ones away. Just leaving those.
Yeah,
behind.
there's that one. There's a moment where you reach and grab, and it just like comes off in your hand. You're just hanging there by one arm, but then you manage to find your grip again and continue the climb. And yeah, this time you make it to the top of this ledge. So you're there.
Wow, it looks like we can't go anywhere else. There's just a huge chasm all the way around.
Well, you can't see much here,
Oh, is this like an Assassin's Creed sort
but it
of
looks
thing?
like it might. You've basically got a lot of climbing ahead of you.
Is there an eagle circling that if I jump, I'll land on a hay bale? Let me
There's
just
no
think.
eagles. There's some very decrepit vultures, maybe.
Oh yeah, I just need to synchronise first,
You do.
and then can you remove
You're
another
not
fog?
at the tallest bit yet, though.
Oh, damn it!
Re- reveal all important map locate.
I need to collect some
Alright,
feathers from my mother or whatever you have
Yeah,
to do.
I'll say. Roll me another survival check to tie off this rope. We'll see whether you lose anyone.
Oh, I don't care deeply about all my guys.
What?
You're fine. All 6 of you make it to this, and you see the next large bit up. You're kind of like, okay, I need to climb to the top of this bit now.
Yeah, we're covering
which
routes
is
as we go.
another good 80 foot. Yeah, another like 80 foot sort of climb. Yeah, again, like for both groups, like the rock stays the same. It's that almost like purpley hued rock. There's a deep fog around you, and there's almost like this feeling of uneasiness as you're climbing up. These whispers on the wind, each and every one of you are hearing them, and some of your followers are looking very uneasy. There's almost like like the air feels thick, almost as if something is like building up, almost like that humidity before a very strong thunderstorm, but it just feels almost like deeper than that. Like you can feel it in your bones and your mind that there's just something wrong about this place. And on that note, I would like wisdom saving throws from everybody, please.
I'm going to make sure I grasp onto my pendant extreme.
Could you all whisper to GM them,
Oh.
please?
Yeah.
Sorry, I meant.
I'm going to make sure I'm holding on to that lit up pendant pretty tight.
Wait, I'm just gonna go Kurt Cobain myself in the corner.
Hey.
Right. The whole idea of wisdom's like to whisper them is to not give away what you rolled, guys.
Well, I don't think I've actually got a shotgun
The only-
in game.
If it helps, I've given nothing away.
Brandon and Toll, they gave nothing away with their rolls.
Randall's just chanting to himself. Latarim will lead me, Latarim will lead me. He's just walking with his eyes closed, he's that certain.
Toll, to answer your question, no.
I think we should break into a chant. I'm going to turn to Sir Steve. I'm concerned for the morale of your men, as you are men of the same cloth, the knights of the same cloth. Perhaps you should imbue them with some morale, and perhaps what chants and songs of praise did you all sing as recruits? Something that they'd all know from their younger days.
Well, before that, I wanted to know what Ben was gonna say
Sorry.
about the rolls.
So you'll kind of find out the results of those rolls as we go along the journey.
Okay.
But what I will say is, as you go up the mountain, the whispers do become stronger, sometimes somewhat louder. For those of you know who you are, those of you who rolled well, those whispers don't necessarily have any words to them at all that you would understand. It just it's like just whispers on the wind that you can't necessarily understand a word they're saying, and therefore you feel like you can shake it off a little bit. It's creepy, but somewhat, you know. Okay, I'm just gonna push through. We expected creep. For those of you who rolled low, you start to actually understand some of the stuff that's being said, and I won't necessarily say particularly what's being said, but it starts speaking into like your darkest like fears, maybe your worst failures of the past, things that you'd most deeply regret, your darkest moments. That's what it starts speaking into and starts working in that into your brain. It's up to you whether you rolled low or not, whether you want to think on what those moments might be. However, Randall to Steve, Damien, your group. Two of your group, one of the knights, one of the squires, they start like looking back down the mountain. I can't continue. No, normally, this is horrible. I don't want to be here anymore. And like they're looking around, and you see the panic start to set in their faces.
We're on like a flatter bit, right? We can move around, like where we are.
No, you're in it's like a plateau.
Yeah.
I'm going to look to Sir Steve to see if he can do anything with his men. If not,
Yeah,
I may interfere.
He'll give you a nod, and then he'll walk over to the man and the squire who are.
I'll come with him just to help.
I'll put a hand on the knight's shoulder to keep him still. Right. Look at me. Here now. Turning back will be difficult. You already know that those who come in here, they don't ever leave. If you go off by yourself, there's no promise that you'll actually leave.
You don't understand. She's gonna die. I need to get back to her. And kind of like goes to like shove you out the way and essentially bolt back the way you came.
Is the squire doing the same thing, or is that just him?
No, the squire is currently curled up in a ball, rocking himself on the floor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I will attend to the squire. You can go get the other man.
Do you try and stop him from running, or?
Yeah, I do have a thing for that. I use my attack of opportunity to stop him.
I mean, it will obviously be an unarmed attack because you don't.
I'll just try to grab him like.
Roll me a strength check for your attack.
Okay. Athletics or just strength?
It will be strength. Okay. It's an unarmed attack.
Yeah.
Okay. Position like trip, like throw him to the ground with like a little bit of like a pin. No, you don't understand. He's gonna die. I need to get to him.
Listen to me. This place is messing with your mind. Whatever you think is going to happen, it's not.
No, you don't understand. If I don't get to her, she's gonna die. They're gonna kill her.
To understand. Turning back now will be you dying. You won't be able to save any. Stay with us. Keep going this way.
We're all doomed, you know? We're all doomed.
Why are we doomed?
We can't win. Knows where all your loved ones are. Knows your families. It's gonna get to them.
What is? Who is?
voices.
They're nothing but voices, whispers in the wind. They have no power. And if they do, it's contained to this valley alone. You have nothing to fear outside of it. You are a member of the Emerald Order. Steel your nerve.
He's just shaking his head and trying to wriggle out of your pin.
It's time to knock him out. Yeah, I wish I had Brother Sven with us right now. Feel like he'd be able to get through to this guy. While I'm holding him down, I'm gonna call over one of the other knights and knock him out. He's just going to endanger himself.
What are we going to do with him, sir?
Well, best to leave him here. We'll pick him up on the way back down.
If you're sure, sir. And he gets the butt of his sword.
Okay. It'd be too.
I mean, it might. You have no idea what obstacles lay ahead. You know the crevasses ahead of you, but that's it.
Yeah. We could get him over that pretty easily.
You don't know how much climbing is ahead.
Yeah.
On that note, Casper. One of the youngest one, the squire. He kind of like just as you're walking towards the next climb, he just kind of stops, eyes going wide, and like you all walk past him for a moment before Brother Sven calls ahead to you. Casper, you might want to see this.
Casper's
And he's there like waving his hand in front of the guys.
Casper's already at the front, and when they get to the top, Casper's just staring out and looking down like the fall ahead, and he's not responsive either.
Sven kind of like, you make sure this one doesn't move. Runs up. You feel two hands, like strong hands, pull, just make you take a step back away from the ledge.
Well, he goes to touch me, and I immediately
Pull you
snap.
back a little bit.
I snap round and stand my ground. Unhand me, priest. There's more to come. I'm not leaving them yet. You run if you must. I will wait for more survivors. There's got to be more in the water. I can't be the only one.
Jasper, look at where you are. There's no water around us.
Shut up, priest. I see what I see.
And he gets out his little flask, grasps his symbol of Lazarium, and just splashes you in the face with some holy water.
I go to grab him, and I think he's going to attack me.
He just splashes you in the face. It startles you for a second, and you hear him mutter a couple of words in a ancient language, and you feel your eyes defog for a moment. There's still that despair, but you back. You know where you are now.
Oh, I've got him as if I'm about to chuck him over the edge, and then suddenly,
yeah, he's just there holding his. Don't do this, Casper.
I'm sorry, Sven.
Steel yourself.
Sven, I don't know. It was so real. The water was lapping up. I could feel it. What is going on, Sven?
Have you got the? It is this mountain. I believe it might be the vessel that is here, playing tricks on your mind. Do you have the medallion that I gave you?
I have it in one of my pockets. Yes. I look at it.
Put it on.
I
Put
put
it
it on.
on.
Yeah.
Wear it. Don't know whether it will help, but it is all I can think. Just steal your mind.
I'll try then. I'll try.
One of the squires is doing the same. He is frozen. Not moving, not responding.
Can you help him?
I do not know. I was lucky that it helped you. And he goes over and he tries the same thing, and the squire this kind of like just sits on the floor, like slumps down after, rather than staying frozen. I don't want to be here. I want to go home. What if everyone is dead? What if I die here? I'm never going to be good enough to be a knight.
I feel like I'm not in a good position to convince him that it's okay. I nearly threw a priest off a hill, off a mountain.
Brother Sven looks to you and, what should we do with him? I've managed to get him out of his stupor, but he's in no fit state to continue.
We cannot.
We allow him to go down.
You die alone. We cannot separate. To get lost alone is death.
We cannot just leave him here. We cannot. If we drag him along, it might endanger the rest of us.
Let me talk to him. I'll go over, crouch. What is going on with you, boy?
I don't want to die. I want to grow up to be a knight. I know I'm never going to be good enough. I don't want my family to die. What if everyone's dead back there?
Where?
In the camps we left behind, in the village. I swear I saw a burning. I looked back for a second. I saw a pyre behind us.
We can't.
Like I was looking over the valley.
The camp is miles away. You cannot possibly have seen it.
The fog parted before my eyes.
I know what you're saying. I have seen the same myself. It is an illusion. You need to still yourself.
He looks very distraught.
Look me in the eyes. Look. Pull yourself together.
Okay. There's a big old red
That's
mark.
one way to do it.
His eyes are welling up.
The only thing that will kill you on this mountain is me if you don't move. We're not leaving anyone behind, so you best get on your feet.
Okay. He kind of like very slowly, very begrudgingly gets to his feet. Yeah, you managed to hack some sense into him, I guess.
Don't lie to me again, boy. And I kind of walk away and take a deep breath because I'm kind of shitting myself as well. When he's
Dreaded.
when no one can see me, I'm just like.
Fake it till you make it, Casper.
When I look out into the ravine, I just see like a rough sea of dead, floating, mutilated bodies in it, like a shipwreck, and I'm just there going, "It's all fine, everything's fine."
Okay, you begin your climb. So roll me another athletics check, please, and we'll see whether you lead them well enough.
No, I'm
It's
pretty
good enough. It's
shaken up.
slow. Yeah, it's a slower climb. Every time you look down, you see that water, and it just makes you slow. It's just you manage to do it, but it's a lot slower than before.
It's a
Um,
fucking tsunami.
Yeah, I like the idea of the water slowly rising as he's climbing, keeping
Yeah,
that same distance.
the people that are climbing behind you, you're seeing like the water like almost like rising up to their
I'm like
neck.
screaming, like, "Get up faster! Come on!"
Okay. And the rest of you, you are in front of that crevasse. What are you doing with the squire and?
I will try to attempt to reason or talk to the squire. I'm not going to try the Casper tactic. I'm not going to try the Steve tactic. I'm going to go in the Randall way.
Okay, what is the Randall way?
Enter them.
I'm going to come up beside him. You said he's curled up in a ball. I'm going to get down to his level, put a hand upon him and go, lad, can you hear me? Does he respond?
See a subtle nod of the head.
I understand. We're in treacherous times, and this is extremely scary. But we have to work together. If you stay by my side, lad, I will get you through this. It's not just me leading this group. As I hold out my pendant that lit up, it's Lazarium lighting our way. Now get on your knees and off the floor. Pray with me, lad. Pray to this bottle. I'm going to get out my water flask. Pray to Lazarium. Let Lazarium bless our travels. This is more a bit of a placebo thing. I'm gonna pretend like we're gonna bless this water together. Pray for Latarian's guidance. Let him lead us, and then I'm gonna get him to drink from the water afterwards.
Roll me a religion check.
You leave that boy alone.
Again, even if this doesn't work, it's mainly a placebo to try and help him.
I mean, this religion sermon is good, or he sips the water, but his eyes glaze over again. He starts rocking. It's like you hear him muttering, but it's like so like quiet you can't quite hear what he's saying.
Okay. What do they say? What do the voices say to you, lad? Tell me. What ails you?
I didn't mean to kill him. He was at the edge. It was just a bit rough and tumble. I didn't mean for him to die, but he did. I'm a murderer. I'm no good. I'm an awful person. I deserve to die.
No, you do not. Whatever happened to you in the past is not what's happening to you now. Whatever happened surely was an accident. It was no fault of your own. You are your own man and your own free will. You fight forward with us, you can redeem whatever deeds you have done. You can stand up, you can rise. Put that behind you. Become the knight you were meant to be. Fight for the Emerald Order. Leave that life behind and come with me. And I'm going to put my hand out.
Roll me a persuasion.
Come with me. Come with me.
You managed to convince him to get up and follow you. You don't know in what state of mind he's going to be, but
I'm going to hold his hand for a very, very long time. I'm not letting go of him.
okay, you are holding his hand towards the crevasse. Damien,
I would like to check on. Yeah,
Yeah?
go on.
No,
What's
no,
Rachel doing?
Rachel looks frightened, but like you see her kind of look to you, and she gives you like a firm nod.
I'm going to hold out my other hand for her.
She kind of like nods, shakes her head. Focus on him.
Right, Rachel, if you ever feel as if you're struggling, come to me. We'll get through this together. You know you can confide in me.
She nods her head.
I'm glad to have you here with us, Rachel. We'll get through this together.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to guide this squire. He is now my ward. No one touch my squire. He's mine.
Okay, how are you three seeing this crevasse?
Do we have to cross a large open thing,
Yeah.
do we? Is there any suitable ways round that we can see?
No, I mean it's essentially like it's a breaking of a plateau, so there's like a gap between the plateaus.
How big is the gap?
It's about 10 foot, maybe 10 to 15 feet. Like it's wider in some places, slightly narrower in others, but it doesn't get narrower than 10 foot.
How's Damien doing?
Damien's kind of like zoned in and is just trying to like whining and freaking out. He seems like locked in, like on a mission. Probably, yeah, he's very locked in right now and very focused on like they need to get through this place now.
Good. Okay. We need to find a way across this gap.
I think I might be able to jump it.
That didn't sound so confident.
I do not feel reassured.
He's looking at the gap and he's not confident.
It's only 60 feet.
Well, how heavy is everyone?
You've got some heavily armored knights, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I was more thinking Mia and or Damien. Damien, what's your weight?
It's like 140 pounds.
What's that in kilos? I work in kilos.
No clue.
All of D&D is in pounds. Max like kilos though.
Like, is that like 60 kilos?
Okay, so you're lighter than Randall.
Yeah, he was very malnourished, but when you guys found him, so.
Okay. I turn to Sir Steve with the most serious look in my eyes and go, we throw Damien.
Toss him.
I'm not sure you've ever thrown a man before, Randall, but it's not that easy.
Well, you grab your strongest knight, one each side, we tie a rope to him and we launch him over. He gets a good run up as we go, and we slingshot him as he runs. So it's an assisted jump.
I have a... Looks at Damien. Work. But just in case, let's tie a rope around his waist. If he does fall down, we want to be able to grab him.
Is there a large step that he can use, like a larger boulder that he can use to jump off as he goes? So you can be either side of like a rock boulder. He can be jumping off the boulder and you can help sling him so he can have the height to assist as well.
Are you saying that in character?
I was looking for a boulder, mainly.
I mean, there's not really... The ground's very uneven here, so there might be a boulder, but it's not like right at the edge. There's not like a convenient jumping boulder, basically.
Steve. So Captain, Knight, General, whatever you are nowadays. Get one of your men to make himself into platform.
I was about to suggest the same thing. Use one of our. He holds up the shields. You use this as a springboard.
That's what I meant.
I like the
Not
transformer
just-
idea. You, Sir Optimus Prime, transform
On
into
your
reach.
knees. Not like one of those stalls for a king where some guy's just hunched over on the floor. Not like that.
I mean, that sounds like what you're going for.
No, I was going for what Sir Steve meant with like a shield up.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and if he pushes up at the same time, he can give him a little bit of extra jump as well.
Okay, we're gonna launch Damien.
Hey. Damien, are you okay with this?
Without him even deciding Randall's tying a rope around him.
Suddenly, Damien could not be found that day.
Don't mind me. Um. Yeah,
You can say no.
sort of like look hesitant when you approach him with the rope.
I'm also going to hand you my hand axe. If you feel as if you begin to slip, embed this into the rock.
He takes it wordlessly.
Okay, we create the human slingshot.
Okay.
And yeah.
This became
And Casper just hears from the other side of the mountain. "Ah."
I recognise
this
that
became
scream.
so much more complicated than I thought it would be.
Yeah, but the more cogs you put in place, the more
The more
complicated it is.
The more chance I
The
have
less
to
likely
just
it is
break
for
down.
DM to go, yeah, it's probably going to fail.
No, it's more likely because a single cog goes wrong, the whole thing goes to shit.
Yeah, you throw more cogs in.
Yeah, just keep throwing.
We've involved 5 people in this plan.
So, Damien, are you jumping?
Yeah.
We've got his by rope.
Roll me an athletics check.
Really wish that was acrobatics, but okay.
Well, he's being springboarded, so he could
Yeah.
do a front flip.
I'll accept acrobatics. I'll accept the argument that you're being springboarded. So
This is parkour.
yeah, it's more
Parkour.
parkour than jump.
Parkour.
Okay.
You-
Okay. What's your normal jump distance?
I have strength of 10, so
10
Go on,
feet.
5e jump calculator.
Long jump is your strength.
What's your strength?
10.
10, and your how tall?
4 foot.
I think I'm 5'11".
Yeah, with a running start, your long jump is 10 foot normally. Okay. All right. You jump across, and yeah, you manage to stick the landing.
Nice.
You kind of like almost stumble a little bit, but you make it.
Randall holds up a little board that says 9.5 on it.
It's a 2 from me.
Right, well, at least that's done. Now we just have to get everyone else.
Damien, tie the rope off. I'm going to yell across the grass.
He didn't take the rope.
As
with him.
you say that, he stands there,
Damien!
ties the rope from his hands, and just looks at the rope and looks across at all of you.
I yell his name again.
No way.
Damien, Tie the rope off. I await the response.
Yeah.
I think he drops it.
Ooh.
You watch as Damien lets the rope drop at his waist, and the rope slithers down into.
I'm still holding one end of it.
Yeah. The other end, just because the weight of the rope that's dragging into
Yeah.
Cravat just falls into the.
I go to the edge, and in a quaky voice I go, Damien? Damien! Krieger? Nickum?
Pulls out his bow. Nothing personal.
Okay.
Do you even move or respond or turn your head to any of the names?
Every time you say his name, he seems to like twitch.
With the time spent on these both obstacles, with Casper's climbing and you guys, I would like a second wisdom save from you, please.
I grasp my pendant.
I'll try.
Whispered again. This time with no reactions, guys.
I'm not actually.
Can we put fake reactions on it? Can we pretend we
Quick,
got
let's
something else?
pray.
I'm not actually crying. My hay fever was particularly bad today.
I just thought you felt very emotional about Damien's betrayal.
I'm that good at acting. Oh no, I did that publicly.
Okay.
Roll it again privately, because I don't want people to know what you got. Okay.
I'm holding the pendant.
Okay. I will say that the threshold is basically a 12. So if you get less than a 12, then obviously you now know what's happening. If you get obviously multiple negatives, the effect will compound, basically. Okay, so whatever like deepest darkest fears you start to experience, they get worse. So like those of you that roll badly the first time, obviously I think we've figured out who those might have been. The effects are that you can kind of push through them at this point if you've rolled well this time. If you haven't, you're basically going to double down. If you've rolled badly this time, then obviously you start to experience those fears, possibly even like when you close your eyes, you've got the visions. When you open them, maybe there's a vision. It's up to you how this affects your character. I want you to think about what your like deepest fears are, maybe your deepest regrets, maybe a past trauma or something like that. Yeah, roll with what you feel is best. But currently, yes, Casper, you've got to the top of your bit, so you're like up here. It's quite a small plateau, and those people come. I'm gonna roll some dice.
Oh, my biggest regret. I should never have eaten that chili con carne before coming. It's playing havoc on my stomach. I'm just gonna have a quick shit.
I think Randall's just at the point where he's like, send the men home, I'm going in alone.
Turn back! Turn back, all of you!
Save yourselves, fool. You are not strong of mind enough for the
Casper-
task ahead.
Casper's just behind going, onwards! Always onwards!
Just screaming at him in Cascadia.
Not one step back!
You, Casper, your group gets to the top, and you realise that that squire is not there.
Fuck.
You actually notice that the rope that, like, is cut, basically, that was tying him to the rest of the group.
Like, has he fallen to his death?
You don't know.
Did we hear a...
You did not.
No?
You did not.
Was he the last? Surely he wasn't the last one.
He wasn't, but you weren't tied all in 6. You're tied pairs pretty much. So because you don't.
Is everyone else up?
Everyone else got up, yeah.
Does anyone see him go?
Trevor looks at the rope because the rope was his biggest guy. He was probably attached to him. Last time I looked, he was there behind me.
Didn't feel the rope go?
No, she's gone.
For fuck's sake. Right. You guys hold this, and I'll tie a rope off at the top and give it to them to hold off, and I'm gonna abseil down.
Okay.
Into the water.
No, it's like, yeah, I could just jump off, I guess.
You get to the bottom and yeah, with the way your mind is at the moment, you would like as you abseil down, the water kind of like decreases with you.
Yeah.
Still, like it still throws you off a little bit, but like it's not as bad. With you get to the bottom of that next plateau and there's no sign of it.
I call out, Squire! I never got your name! But Squire! You out there?
You just hear that whispering on the wind.
Prick. Right,
And
fuck
even
it.
like slight cackle of laughter on the wind.
Stop mocking me, wind! I hold my, my amulet. Begone, foul spirits! And I climb back up.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. And you regroup with your guys. Sir Steve, Randall. And,
I don't know. We've lost him.
Damien, what are you doing at the moment? Have you started walking off?
Jump.
I think he was about to, and then sort of pauses and sort of like puts his hand on his head.
Does a
He sort of
flip.
hears the commotion. And looks back over.
Just see Randall like waving at you.
Apologies. Yes, but sorry, lost in thought. Throw me the rope.
I'm gonna yell, "Are you okay, Damien?"
Throw me the rope.
Okay, I'm gonna throw him a rope.
Hopefully I can catch it.
Roll me a strength check to throw the rope.
Is it Dex to throw?
Throwing a big hefty off. You're throwing a hefty.
So Steve, throw the rope. I'm gonna hold one end and go give Steve the big ball. We'll go throw the rope.
Randall tries to throw it. It just limply goes to the center of the crevasse.
All my strength is in my mind at the moment, Sir Steve. My muscles have gone weak. Throw the rope.
As you do that,
Oh no.
his eyes seems to have almost glazed over, almost, and he's just staring off up this mountain into the distance, almost like he's seeing something that isn't there. He blinks a few times and looks at you. We don't have time for this, Randall. He takes the rope, he just tosses it across, and he backs up Get out of the way. Better off those of us who can cross now, cross now. And give me another rope.
Guy's a maniac.
Okay, he throws the rope across. I'm hoping Damien catches it.
I
Yeah.
catch it.
I mean, your base dex should be allow you to catch.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Catch.
I hold one rope with Damien. Who else is nearby that sound of mine? Anyone? Hands up. I look to my
Rachel.
crew.
Rachel is sound of mind.
Good, right. Rachel, you come here. Stand by me. How's the squire who I've got in one hand still?
He's with you. However, one of the other knights has now stopped.
I'll come on to you later. You, other knight, are you okay?
He nods firmly.
Hold on to the rope for your knight captain. I think he's going to jump.
So, Steve, what are you doing?
Dead.
The second someone else grabs the rope behind him, he's just gonna sprint and leap across the chasm.
Okay, I'm just squeezing the squire's hand so tight with tense, like, oh my god, he's gonna fall.
Athletics check then, please, Sir Steve.
Has he got plate armour on? Just because I think it'd be
No.
funny for him to fall.
No, he doesn't have plate.
Oh. Breastplate.
Oh.
Heavy armour.
Yeah, it's heavy armor. Yeah.
I'm going to go find some stones to throw in a pond. When we're putting the fish down.
Oh, I rolled that to GM, but you can
That's
see
fine.
it.
I quite like this to GM one because I don't know if he's made it.
Actually, yeah. Keep all the rolls to GM.
Please.
You watch him jump. And his heavy armor does weigh him down. And you see he does start to drop before the other side. But he manages, like, it's one of those ones where it looks painful. Where, like, he slams in and grabs onto the side, like, hits his midriff a little bit. Wins himself. But he's holding.
And yeah, I was going to tie the rope, but then seeing that, I'm going to move over to try and help Sir Steve. Just up.
I won't lie, I was waiting for like a Mufasa and like a thingy moment where it's like, long live the king.
Check just before he saves him.
You know, he won't take the elf's hand as he just clambers back up. He knows the elf has no strength to pull him up this side.
You have no strength here, elf.
But it's the thought that counts.
Yeah, he will, as he gets up, he's saying, thanks, but we don't have time to wait. Oh,
Right.
And yeah, gonna go tie the rope to. Fuck. Where am I tying the rope to?
I mean, there's some like stalactites and stalagmites around, so yeah.
Okay. How many knights do I have left on my side? This is like the fox to chicken and the feed situation.
So, like I said, one of your guys is looking like he's frozen, staring off blankly into the distance to the east. The rest look like they are ready to go on.
Okay. Randall's going to start getting a bit ruthless in a minute. I'm going to... So I've got 2 knights that are good.
Yeah, so currently you've got the guy that's left behind, tied up on a plateau somewhere, and you're kind
We
of...
only had 3 knights. Oh no, we've got Sir Steve.
Yeah, you got Steve's group as well.
Okay, I'm going to tell Damien and Sir Steve and the knights to start tying off. And how strong is this rope? Can they like?
It's solid. It is solid.
Yeah, so they can climb across, opposed to having to make the jump.
Yeah, although it would be like they'd have to climb. If they did that, they'd have to then like scoop themselves up on the other side though, because you haven't got it high up. You've got it
Okay.
level.
What we'll do is we'll do a two-man tackle. They tie off there too. We've got their ropes. They tie them around themselves. They jump that side. So Steve and Damien will pull them up, throw the ropes back, another two go. So if anyone falls, they're on Sir Steve's side for them to pull them up.
Okay, I'd ask Sir Steve and Damien what they're both doing at this point.
Lovely
That's what I'll instruct them to
They
do.
both seem like men on missions at this very moment in time.
Why is Randall the only sensible one here?
It would be so funny if Sir Steve and Damien were just like, so we leave them here and we go up the mountain, and it's just like,
So we leave. Okay.
we leave.
We do it together.
Yeah.
They're only slowing us down.
Yeah. No, that was literally. That's literally. But yeah, I'll tie one of the ropes. Because at the very least, even if Sir Steve and I just continue on, the ropes don't need us.
Well, we need the ropes thrown back to us.
Nah.
Yeah, the person that jumps across can do that.
Okay. Well, I will start sending some knights over.
Yeah, I'll tie off the rope, and then throw it back over. But everything he looks like Sir Steve is doing, he's doing it in a very hurried fashion.
That's fine by Randall. He likes to be rushed. Okay, yeah, we'll start.
It's probably the same.
5 minutes. I'm gonna keep one sound of mind knight with me.
How do you make that decision?
How are you handling the guy that isn't responsive?
To be confirmed. He might be dead weight in a minute. His rope might be useful. But
Well, they are to you. Resources.
I didn't want him in the first place.
Apparently, yes.
No, I will try to get as many men over and then I'll tackle this problem because I can't throw the bloke, I can't force him, I'll come on to him. So once I've got a couple men over, I've still got Squire in one hand, I've got one decent knight with me. And then I'm going to talk to this knight to try to get him round, and I'm going to have this other knight with me to try to help.
Okay. I would say with Damien and Sir Steve really like hustling you to speed up. Roll me a persuasion check at a disadvantage this time.
That's fine. I'm mainly going to have his mate like try. Come on, get him back round. You know him. You're his brother.
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 You and he were brothers, weren't you?
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be any movement in him. You
Oh,
just stare at the distance.
slap him.
I put my hands on my head and go, what would Casper do? And I turn to the knight to go, slap him. I'm not strong enough.
The guy looks very confused at you. What?
I don't know why, but I have a psionic link with my detective partner, and there's something in my head that tells me to slap him.
Slap
Don't
him.
ask me why, don't ask me how, but I have the feel that we have to slap him. You are
Hand.
stronger than me, knight. Big meaty big meaty hands.
Big meaty hand must meet face.
He slaps him, but there doesn't seem to be the effect that you were hoping for. Maybe the knight's heart wasn't in it. He hasn't got the mentality of Casper.
He doesn't have the big meaty hands.
I'll slap him.
What with your weak arms?
Your
that's
hands are a woman's large at best.
They have quite a lot of lotion on from the last time Randall was moisturising, so they kind of slip off.
No, it's your choice. You can either spend more time
Slapping a boy.
dealing with this guy, or you can try and get yourselves across.
Randall's scared that as the time is going on, more and more people are diminishing. So we might have to cut off one now to have more people further ahead in a safer sound of mind.
Stab him.
Yeah. Well, there's a guy knocked unconscious. You can go sit with him. I'm not knocking him unconscious. I'm sorry. I'm not Sir Steve.
You go wait for the unconscious man.
So, if you're taking this along, Sir Steve would just shout that across at you. He'd just be like, "Leave him with the man who's unconscious and
I'm
hurry
going to
up."
write a note and pin it to his chest.
Where are you getting these writing supplies?
I don't know.
If
I've got a
found,
top hat
please
in my
return
bag.
to Randall Wilder.
All your stuff that would weigh you down back on the cart.
I've got a top hat in my inventory.
Yeah, that's back on the cart. You're not carrying everything on mountain
Uh,
cart.
Do I still have a top hat?
Okay, I'm going to write in the floor underneath him. I don't know. Go find unconscious man. Go back down mountain.
He's right up there. He's on the plateau rim.
Oh, we're leaving. I'm not wasting time.
What did we buy
Still got the
top
squire
hat for?
safe because I feel more concerned about the squire. I want Rachel to be safe and Miss Knight, who seems to be my mate now. We're going. Dead weight. I'm sorry. That was a hard choice, but it has to be done at this point. We're off.
All right, you make your way, and you find you have probably like one large climb left. Casper, you've got a series of plateaus ahead of you. Before we do that, I would like one more wisdom save for everyone.
That's what I was worried about. I didn't want to be on the other side of that crevice and go loopy.
What have we got?
Okay. There's a part of me that really wants to crit fail this. There's a part of me that's like, come on.
That'd be good, that, wouldn't it?
There's a part of me that's like, because
I'm really enjoying the
one
whispers,
is,
by the way. I'm really enjoying the whispers because Ben is just sitting there going, huh, oh, shit, and we're all going, huh?
Ben,
Who's failed?
does a crit failure count as 2 failures, just for reference? Or is it still just a failure?
In this, it's just one failure.
Okay.
A death save. This is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
So like crits aren't any worse than like a normal fail or save.
Yeah, I was just
Either
making
way.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, those of you who obviously, if you've got less than 12, it's obviously a meets it beats it thing. So if you got less than 12, then yeah, almost like another like tick fail. It's similar to death saves in terms of you're like ticking off saves and fails sort of thing. And I'll tell you if that anything happens because of that. If you failed, obviously, like I said, the effects start to like come back, almost like with a vengeance. You'd like push them to the back of your mind, and now they start to come back. Maybe a new like trauma revisits. Maybe something that you're fearing the future starts to come about.
Dad, no.
So Casper, you find yourself. You've got like a few like toes. You got to like bunny hop over. They're like short jumps, but like obviously the drop between them is long.
Oh, fuck it. Casper's looking round behind him in a panic. Come on, the water's rising! We got to move now! And he's just gonna run and triple jump this shit.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah.
I like that the idea that he doesn't stop. It's just boom, 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 just jumping each time.
Yeah. Okay. They will start to try and keep up. Brother Sven manages to keep up. Reva manages to keep up. You watch as one of the knights just goes straight down the crevasse.
He probably shouldn't have tried to keep up.
Sorry, OJ, I missed that.
He probably shouldn't have tried to keep up.
He maybe shouldn't, but they thought you saw something, so The other knight stumbles and he slows down, and you kind of like you turn around, and you're screaming at him to hurry up, and stumbles again, and he's just slowing the group down. He's managing to make it, but he's slowing the group down. But you do manage to make it, and you see ahead of you there's like a short climb, but there is a cave opening. Frost covering it. The fog kind of dissipates slightly around it, and there's a slight glow around.
Does it feel like a safe point, or is it still like feel ominous? Like, would I see it as a look?
It still feels ominous, and but it's like the first like bit of like light that you've really noticed.
Like, would I see it as like a salvation? Like, if I get here, I'll be safe, sort of.
It does look like, it's a cave. It's something where there's shelter, and at this point, shelter might be good for you guys.
Yeah. I'll just be like mental raving, like, let's just get in there. Come on, it'll be safe.
Okay, you start scrambling up the It's quite an easy climb, but like you're scrambling up it, loose rock. Over to our other group who have this like 70-80 foot climb ahead of them.
Kill anyone who tries to climb up behind us.
How is everyone's morale when I make my way over?
A couple of them are looking a bit shaky. A couple of them like almost like eyes darting around.
Rachel and the squire.
Rachel is fine.
Rachel, my girl. And the squire still holding my hand.
Loosely holding your hand, but you will have to let go
Okay.
to climb.
I'm gonna have a rope. I'm gonna have a rope to both of them when we climb.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn to Sir Steve and Damien. I don't know what seems to be affecting everyone. It seems to be affecting you both just as much. We need to keep our minds strong. Remember what we're fighting for. We need to move on.
We were waiting on you.
I'm going to turn to Damien. I'm used to that attitude from Sir Steve.
Let's move.
Good. Stay together. We can get through this together. Lazarium will lead us. Don't worry. I won't leave you behind. And I'm gonna... Let's go. And Randall's loving this, by the way.
I don't think he is. It's still pretty awful for him.
Yeah,
You're just not experiencing past trauma.
Parkour. Parkour.
Oh, parkour.
Parkour.
Yeah. I'll say that most of you. Who's going up first? Shall I say? Sorry.
So Steve, are you strong enough to lead the way? You seem to be in a rush.
Yes, I will lead the way.
I will steady the back, make sure no one falls behind.
He's just gonna take the rope and start climbing.
Okay.
I'll stay at the back, make sure everyone's grouping together and no one's looking too weak.
Roll me an athletics check, Sir Steve.
I'll be, if anyone looks like they're about to slip, I'll tell them to, like, grasp to their left if I can notice it.
So Steve, it's slow ascent, but you manage it.
Is everyone climbing okay?
He gets to the top. I was probably not wanted to do what Damien did, just drop the rope and leave. But he'll tie the rope off to this stalagmite here for like other people.
Yeah. Okay,
And
so you start off and do you wait?
He'll wait for the first person to climb up.
Okay. Were you going like some of the knights next, or Damien next, or?
Whatever order they want to go in, I'll just make sure I'm at the back.
I'll go first. So that
Okay.
I can cut the rope.
Yeah,
I
so
was thinking the same
Steve,
thing.
Damien can be at the top, and then the knights in the middle, and then me, Rachel, and the squire at the back.
Okay. You're waiting, and then guys at the top. Do you wait around?
No, we're probably going to go in the cave.
Oh no! I meant Sir Steve and Damien. Like after you've tied the rope off, do you wait around?
I was hoping to wait till a knight climbed up. When a knight gets up, then he'll move on.
Yeah, Squire Tommy comes up, and then one of the knights.
Okay. After that, I'm gonna look around to Squire Tommy then and be like, "All right, we don't have time to waste around. We'll move on to the next bit while the others still climb. Make sure that rope is tight. Keep it safe."
Squire Tommy is like, "I'm coming with you, sir."
Very well. You won't listen to me if I tell you to stay as it is.
He shakes his head. No, sir.
And then, so Steve's gonna move on. He's constantly like taking glances up to the top of this mountain to like up here to these. Can we see this from where we are then? At this
Yeah.
point?
So you would see the glow of the cave as well.
Okay. Can we see these like ruins and stuff?
Yeah. So there's the glow. It's like for you, it's like through the ruins, whereas Casper's group came up the side and bypassed those ruins.
So at this point, now that he can see that, he's just seeing this glow, and he's seeing these ruined buildings. And just for the audience at home, I'll explain what he's seeing. As he's staring off into the distance, he sees a farmhouse, and he sees it on fire. And it's the farmhouse he grew up in, the farm he grew up in. He just sees it in the distance, and a glow that plays perfectly into the glow of a fire. He's just going to rush over that way, leaving the others to do their climb.
Hey. Randall, you're waiting at the bottom. You've sent one of the knights up to follow. You're just waiting at the bottom with Rachel and the squire.
We're the last to go, yeah.
You
Once
are
once they're all up.
But then that knight just falls, and you not watch as the rope falls with him, and he slams straight into the ground next to you.
Can I have a look at the rope?
Yeah, it's definitely been cut.
Cut. Fuck. I'm gonna try to bring the squire and Rachel away from it. Quick. We don't need to see that.
Yeah, they've already seen quite a bit, but
It's fine. This could just be a trick by the mountain. It's playing tricks on us all. This could just be an illusion. Keep your head strong.
Rachel's holding the end of the rope, and she like looks at you. This is no trick. This rope has been cut.
Oh, are we still attached to each other, the three of us? Because the three of us will be attached.
Yeah. It's just the rope that was being used for climbing has been cut.
Well, it looks like someone doesn't want us to get to the top. We can't wait here. We have to meet up with the others. Perhaps there's been insubordination in our group, but I know Casper will be strong. We'll have to meet up with him. We'll have to keep going. We'll climb together, the three of us. We'll stay together, tied together. We can get through this slowly, securely. Find your footings. Keep strong. If you feel as if you're about to slip, we'll keep each other strong. We'll climb together. We're gonna have to freehand it, the three of us.
roll me a roll me an athletics check then. You can also roll for let's toggle whisper.
I am enjoying the whisper.
Okay. Yeah, you
I'm going to tell everyone to take it really, really slow.
yeah, you start to struggle and stuff breaks away.
I gave my hand axe away.
You actually lose your grip entirely. You pull yourself and Rachel. You're about halfway up. You pull yourself and Rachel and the squire off the wall. And Rachel just reaches out, and you actually watch as a vine just streaks from her arm
Mark
and
it
lands
up.
on the wall. She kind of she looks shocked herself. She's a bit like, she's like looking up at the vine, back to you, like, huh?
That's why I brought her, bitch.
I don't know what I just did, but
By Latara's light, you saved us, girl. Hold it. I'm going to then try to get my grasp on the wall as I'm dangling there to try to secure myself.
Yeah, the vine itself is secure as a rope, and you can start pulling yourself up.
I'm going to turn to the squire and go, get your foot in.
Yeah, he does, and he follows you up. You guys are going to be a little bit behind, but you manage to get to the top with Rachel's magical help.
I will give her a hug. And the squire. We have a little huddle.
And we're going to snap to... so, Randall, you'll catch up at some point. But we're going to snap to Casper, Sir Steve, and Damien as they arrive at the cave together. Obviously, Squire Tommy's in tow, and as you're running, you notice the knight kind of that you left at the top with the rope, kind of, he's running to catch up with you as well. Sir Steve. It's like, they're on their way. Come on, let's get in that cave.
He kind of looks back. Yeah.
So I don't like that at all. Can I roll an insight?
You can.
Good.
At disadvantage.
All right.
Considering your mind is quite suspicious already as it is.
Mm-hmm.
In your rush to get there, you're like,
I do have air for deceit though, so any roll of a 7 I treat 7 or lower I treat as an 8, so that'll be 18. It's
okay.
Lowest.
Yeah. But yeah, still it's.
Oh wait, reliable talent 20.
It's
20 is my lowest.
It's one of those things where you are on the move. You can't necessarily look at his face, gain these facial expressions or anything like that. There sound urgency in his voice, and it's hard to tell any tonal stuff because he's running, he's somewhat out of breath, and so are you. So it insight's not a lie detector. So I'd say you probably needed to roll very, very high to be able to read someone in the situation you are in right now, which is moving fast through ruins and fog. Yeah, so currently there's 4 of you. Casper, you have 4 guys with you left. You lost one to the fall. No, you got 3 guys with you. You got Trevor, Knight, and Sven. You had 1 guy fall off the cliff,
Yeah.
rope cut, and you had 1 guy fall through the crevasse. So you've lost 1 Knight, 1 Squire. So you've got 3 guys with you. So yeah, there's 8 of you that are entering the cave at this moment.
Are they caught up with us?
Yeah, you kind of enter at the same time.
Instead of entering the cave, so Steve is kind of just running around the ruins, shouting people's names, because all he sees is his old farmhouse. He's just running around, trying to find people that aren't there.
Hey, Squire Tommy tries to get you to lead to the cave, and he is going to show you the banner
Oh.
to try and bring you out of it.
Oh. It's okay. We have the banner.
Come on, Sir Steve, come on! The mission! There's no fire burning.
The quest.
He's gonna look around at what he can see, and then his eyes are gonna snap when he sees the banner. He sees Tommy. I can see it. I can feel the heat.
Come on. The mission is more important.
He's gonna nod. Show me the way, Tommy, but you better be right.
Damien's gonna sort of come up beside Sir Steve. What do you see and what do you hear?
He turns to look at you.
He's not looking at you. Damien's looking forward. But he just stands beside you, looking forward.
I see fire. I see my homestead. I see it burning.
Is your homestead in this mountain?
No.
Then it must be false.
It kind of, you see realization dawn on his face. It's like, wait, but no,
Damien continues walking forward.
Hey.
He'll go into the cave.
Alright. Those of you, obviously, Casper, you'd see this first. There's like a dull purple coming from outside where the light's filtering through this fog. You notice there is a body encased in ice ahead. So the walls are this very purpley, blacky sort of obsidian sort of colour. There's ice on the floor. And yeah, the main feature, see these large steel, mixture of steel and stone doors up ahead. And then there's this body kind of kneeling, facing the exit, and it's impaled by this warped-looking lord. It's holding a weapon in one hand, and that you can necessarily notice. It's hard to distinguish the stuff about it because it's encased in some ice. The weapon itself, so the sword that's impaled the body, and the weapon in the frozen body's hand, they are not encased in ice, but everything else is. and there is some melting of the ice around the door. Other than that, there is nothing of note that you can see from the cave entrance.
Right, I'm gonna mosey on in. I'm gonna say to our guys, wait here, make sure nothing follows us in.
You say that as Sir Steve, Damien, a knight, and Squire Tommy come in.
Yeah, I'm kind of like pacing forward, like very cautiously looking forward, and suddenly I just hear over my shoulder, and I'm... Right. You okay?
No. No, not at all.
Good. Neither am I.
To Casper, maybe I should scout the area for traps first.
Perhaps that's a good idea. I was about to use my body for that.
Let's not do that.
I gesture for him to continue.
Roll me an investigation check, Damien.
Alright. Cool. Wait, hang on. Sorry.
Anytime today, you know.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
19.
Cool. Yeah, you like kind of like pace around. It's your kind of like keen eyes is, yeah, the ice encased floor. There's no traps there. I mean, like, if there were traps underneath the ice, they wouldn't be able to be activated with the being frozen over. Near to the door, again, it's kind of just like standard stone floor. It's natural. There's no traps. The door itself, you investigate, and there's almost like a circular hole for something to go in. There's no keyhole or anything like that, and you like test the handles, and they are sealed tight. And then, yeah, obviously, then the only other thing is the body with the warped-looking sword through it and frozen over. But you can give the all clear to the rest of the group.
No traps in here, at least.
Right. Guess I'll continue moseying. Like, we keep walking in.
So Steve's gonna put a hand on Casper's shoulder.
I look at him.
Did you see something?
What do you mean?
Some of our group, they've been having visions, myself included. Did you see anything on your way here?
Everything is fine now. We're inside a cave.
And he's gonna look back and look at the group. What happened to the other two knights? The squire and your knight? There's two missing.
We lost them in the climb. Speaking of which,
Understandable.
where the fuck is Randall?
They're, he looks back. They're on their way. Our
He was...
fine knight over there rushed over to tell us. They were waylaid at the bottom. You know how Randall is, and he had Rachel and a young squire to look after. Taking
I guess everyone's so weird I can't even tell if anything's going on.
You're all so suspicious of each other.
I'll look back at the entrance once more, and then look back at Sir Steve. Right. Okay. I guess he'll turn up when he turns up, eh?
It won't be long now.
Looking in, you notice that so the knight that was with you, Casper, he's kind of like looking at the entrance, looking out. He's like, I'll keep an eye out for them. Brother Sven is currently inspecting the body that's impaled in the centre, and the other knight is looking at the door. See how you want to interact is up to you.
I'm gonna try just open the door.
It's sealed tight.
What? Maybe I thought this was all for show.
It's not. Like I said, there seems to be a circular hole in the door, which Damien would have pointed out.
Oh, is it the size of an arm?
It's not the size of an arm, no.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like palm size.
Is that waist high?
It's not a dick-shaped hole.
It's a glory hole. Someone has to make the sacrifice, and I volunteer Sir Steve.
There is Slanesh on the other side.
Oh no.
Just suck your soul out. Oh no. Oh dear.
Look.
No, it's not a hole. It's more like an indentation sort of thing.
Like you could put your hand on it, I think. Like a hand shaped.
No, but it is like a perfect circle.
Oh, okay. Do I see any perfect circles on this man's? The frozen man's?
It's up to you. Brother Sven is currently looking at him. You can go over there if you want.
Yeah, I'll look over the body with Brother Sven.
Yeah, as you go over there, you notice that Brother Sven is actually kind of on his knees praying in front of this statue. Or this frozen body.
I don't mean to interrupt, Sven, but now might not be the time to give someone their last rites.
I am not giving last rites. This is one of our saints. We thought he lost.
What?
He went seeking dark forces and demons. That was his mission.
And he got here.
We did not know where he had gone. We knew he went north, but
Get the sword out of him.
Look.
he points to the weapon that is almost like in the guy's frozen encased hand. The weapon itself has no ice on it whatsoever. It's this bronze and greeny metal kind of like Damascus steel pattern. So folded steel, which some of you would recognize as like ferrobronze as one of the metals and adamantine as the other. It's a broadsword that is in the guy's hand, and that has no ice on it whatsoever. It seems that the ice has kind of, been repelled by it, and then obviously through the ice, you see a second son's kind of tunic over the top of the mail, but that's been pierced and tattered by this sword that has pierced the body.
How large is this sword? Is it like normal sized? Like the one that pierced him?
The one that pierced him is more like a greatsword sort of size. It's quite large, but it's wieldable by a person, but it would be wieldable as a two-handed greatsword.
I'm gonna reach down there. Do you mind if I take this from his hands, but
No. Though I would like to take it back to the monastery,
Yes.
maybe. Even just to show my brothers. Though it would be a useful tool in this fight, I am sure.
Does it look similar to the one we found?
It does. Slightly different metal combination. I think the other one was a silver and a ferrobronze mix, whereas this one's a adamantine and ferrobronze mix.
Fucking I bet there's some Cascadians that would kill for that
Probably.
at the moment. How's it put it off?
So yeah, it's similar. It's a broadsword, same as the other one, or a bastard sword. I always forget. I think bastard sword is the versatile one. So
I'll look at
yeah, bastard sword's still versatile. Yeah.
I look at Brother Sven and I put one hand on like the great sword. And I look at him. Do you mind?
as soon as you touch that sword, roll me a wisdom save.
Oh no!
Ah, if only Randall the Wise was there.
Well, I've been told you've been. Do you want it secret then?
Yes, please.
Oh, secret to everyone but the viewers.
Randall, you come into the cave entrance as you see Casper.
And do I see him put the handle in it?
You see him put his hand on it, and you see him immediately roar it out of that body.
I'm going to yell, "Stop!" across the cave.
I don't
Do you
think
see
that'll work.
Do you see Casper's eyes take on this purple glow?
Oh no! I've got a murder sword.
Dagger drawn.
He looks with a grin at the weapon, and then looks to the rest of you. And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
I am
You
Zerkov.
fools!
I am Zerkov, destroyer of worlds.
Oh, Randall was the only one of sound mind, and I just wanted to walk in and say, "Nobody touch anything. You're all idiots."
Brother Sven's of sound mind, probably. He's probably fine.
Yeah, and if Casper had gone to touch the sword but didn't grab it straight away. Oh dear.
The worst thing is, I asked permission. I was like, "Do you mind if I take this other sword?" And he's like, "Sure." Casper walks up.
Straight away.
You guys are too slow.
I do just love the freeze frame of Randall with his hand out, like, "Ooh."
You see the shape of this blade, and you're immediately like, "This is bad news."
How come everyone knows it's bad news but me?
No,
Because none of you are very smart at the moment.
Randall's the only one that would know it as bad news because he's the only one that's sound of mind.
I was gonna say, which special lesson did I miss
Oh.
out on?
So there you go. There's the sword.
I don't want it anymore. Look, and now I'm gonna have to kill everyone.
Is he wearing his dread helmet at the moment? Is he wearing on his head?
No, I think
Yeah, you gotta have your helmet on.
it's going to be a good night, sweet prince, very quickly.
He never takes it off, right?
It's jammed
Yeah.
on.
I was just making sure. I'm just imagining him with this helmet on, these purple eyes just glowing faintly behind this like dread helm as he pulls this massive. Is it a massive black like great sword, like dark metal?
Yes.
Does it have like a purplish hue to it almost?
Well, as he draws it, it now starts to emit this purple sort of smoke.
Oh no!
Oh, I knew it.
I fucking knew it.
Who cut my rope?
Hey
I
Ben,
could have saved you.
Ben. I'm not too happy about this whole situation, so I'd like to rage. And on that note, I'll stop the stream. I'll catch everyone. Tune in next week for Casper dies. Or someone dies. Someone dies, and that's a promise. See you later, everyone.
Bye.